Welcome to the Perfect Fit podcast. I just had a great conversation with Migena. She's a sales professional that doesn't sell, and she's a super connector that you should know. From commercial property services, real estate investment, and now a Cardone Ventures licensee, Migena Agaraj is someone to watch. Here we go. Let's start with the first question.
Okay.
What is your most proud moment since becoming a contributor to the American experience?
Wow. That is profound. And I know we spoke about this earlier, Ed, and I said that I don't like preparing. I don't like having questions submitted to me. So I love how I'm put on the spot now. Um, I would say uh, when I was gifted the opportunity to make a difference in a lot of people's lives when I was a human resources recruiter. Coming from a small country called Albania in the middle of the Mediterranean, all the way to the one of the largest cities in the world, the capital of the world, feeling very lost, not even knowing my purpose, and always questioning why are we here. It it took a decade before I could get a real job. So I moved here in 2003. I didn't start in the corporate world until a decade later. And when I was, as I said, gifted, because to me that was a gift. Yes, I was hired to do a job, as they call it, but for me that wasn't a job. So I felt very proud that I finally had that beautiful feeling that possessed me when I would interview a candidate, and then you get to see their facial expressions, their emotions, and everything that goes on in an interview process. And when I would share with them, you are hired, you will start Monday or the following week, or whatever the case may be, that's one of my proudest moments in the American experience, because I'm thinking to myself, I am now fully giving back. It's not about me alone. It's not about me providing for my family alone. It's actually about me providing for my city, for my community, and actually for the world, because we live in a very diverse city. So without even thinking, this is the first thing that comes to mind when I was gifting something back to other humans so they could provide for their families through my role in this company that I was working for. So yes.
That's an amazing, heartfelt answer. It's and the perfect fit is about others. It's never about us, except it is about us 100%. The more we give, the more we receive, right?
So true.
So you obviously have a very strong work ethic. You decided that you were going to move from the business development end of a professional commercial real estate services company into real estate. So, was that people that you knew, or did it come from somewhere else?
The decision.
Yeah, the decision to
Um,
pursue real estate investment as your as your next goal.
well, Ed, you and I met on this social app called Clubhouse, and of course, I have that curious personality. So I joined Clubhouse. I'm listening to people sharing their um, journeys into the business world, and of course, I had to look up the word entrepreneur. I had no idea what it meant. So when I came across this guy called Grant Cardone, um, and I Googled him just to get to know him a little bit better outside of the clubhouse, I was pretty much shocked that I didn't know him sooner. And that curious personality led me to buy a ticket to attend a real estate summit that he was hosting in December of 2021. And because I didn't have a ticket, I was still employed as a director of business development for a $1 billion company based out of San Francisco, but I was handling the Northeast sales and business development. I couldn't even take off when I wanted to. So when I received that green light to take off, I had no ticket. And now I said, I must be at that summit. I need to meet Grant. I have to be there. And everybody knows the story. I actually back channeled him. I sent him a message and I asked him if he could help me buy a ticket, lead me to the right people to buy a ticket. And the man responds. So I have now this multimillionaire, billionaire, Grant Cardone, responding back to me saying, of course, reach out to Annie and we can help you get a ticket and we'll see you at the summit. And the rest is history. So Grant is, or I should rather say Clubhouse is, or should I say Sean Lashley, who is also known as a take a card man in the world, or is it Migena, or is it a combination? I want to believe that it is a combination of us wanting to learn something more about something or someone. And then when that opportunity is presented to us, and again, it's up to us to grab that opportunity and have a curious personality and discover more, be more interested in what's going on. So it's a combination of Clubhouse, Grant Cardone, and ultimately the support from my family, so I could pick myself up, dress myself up, and drop myself in the middle of Miami in a room full of strangers. I knew no one, and I would meet so many of Clubhouse friends for the first time. And so yes, I decided then and there that I was no longer going to work for a company. I was going to work for people, with people, for the people. And I began to learn from the man himself. Attended, I would say, events on a monthly basis, connected, invested time, money, energy, and I haven't looked back. So shifting from the real estate managing of the properties and client retention into learning about multifamily capital raising through syndication, getting familiarized with the lingo, the underwriting, finding deals, brokers, has been a journey. But yes, I would say Grant Cardone is that person that sparked that fire for me to make the shift.
Grant is definitely a catalyst. There are people that don't get him, don't like him, whatever. It's everybody's their own person, right? Um, so that's amazing. We have a Grant Cardone licensee program now in front of you. So you've moved from working on commercial real estate to investing in the multifamily asset class of commercial real estate, and now we're going to help people as a licensee. What are you going to help people get connected into the Cardone ecosystem about? Are you selling? Is that Cardone Ventures? Is it Cardone Capital? Is it?
Um, I am constantly in a, not a fight, not even a struggle. How can I say it? I never ever want to be seen in the world as a salesperson. And when I moved up in the corporate ladder, as they say it here in New York, more and more people assumed and thought that I was a salesperson. And I was very, very um, um, firm on my response, saying, I am an operator. I work for people. I am not a salesperson. When you see me in your presence is because I am here to provide solutions for you. And I was defending myself and I was insulted. And the list kept going on and on. And one of my mentors told me one day, you need to realize that you're the only person who doesn't know yet that you're a salesperson, by the way, because everybody else knows you're a salesperson.
You're in New York, Migena. Everybody's
And
selling something in New York.
I'm
Is
like,
the
no, no, no. And then to this day, even though right now I receive it as one of my biggest compliments that a person can give me or a person can think of me, when I joined the licensee program, of course, because I'm curious and I didn't know everything that I needed to know, which is great because why would I join if I knew everything, right? I am using the platform to become a source to others. Grant is very proud of this program and he's proud of us all being an extension of him. And being on their website, having my name and number, I even had an experience last night where someone texted me and then called me out of the blue and said, before I want to join this licensing program, I'm looking at who's there and saw you and decided to. I didn't even see your picture, but I saw a name and I see Migena in New York City. I said, let me call someone from New York because they will give me the answer the way the answer is. Give it to me straight. And I said, oh, how much time do you have? And I got so excited sharing. And that's what that licensing program is doing for me. There is 1% where, hey, here is a link if you want to purchase a ticket through my link, which to me is an icebreaker for the most part for the community that doesn't know me. It's an entry into Migena's world because then you see the loyalty, so on and so forth. But the licensing program for me is an opportunity to connect globally, nationally, locally, and to share with others what Grant has put together for over 3 decades, and you can fast track your learning and then applying these learnings in your business where you don't have to be someone like Migena who worked very hard for 2 decades being in this country and in the last year achieved more than she achieved in the last 10, 15 years because of the systems and processes, because of people like Ed who have podcasts so we can share our voice internationally and as a result have others hear from our personal experiences. So again, in a long sentence, what I'm trying to achieve with the licensing program is a global outreach to anyone and everyone who doesn't know where to start and they can relate to me because I was that person who didn't know where to start and showed up in the world as my true self, not always knowing the North Star, but kept looking for it without even realizing that I was looking for it, that I was in the search for it. So it has been a life changer because of the people that this program has attracted. And I always say that Grant shows up to work for all of us every day. We don't work for him, he works for us. Because if he doesn't show up, there would be no us as a result. And I would like to continue to be a worthy ambassador because it's not easy to put two sentences together, let alone a full Cardone University that could be worth a master's degree and beyond. So helping, 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 and as Grant says, give, give, give. So I am here to utilize that to connect with amazing people all over the world who don't even know how beautiful and talented they are, but they need this tool to crack the code and be the best they can be in the world.
I get it. So you told us you're not a salesperson. I believe it now. The simple question I was trying to ask was, which entity of grants, the handful of entities, is the licensee program about?
And
It's
I
about
went and I
it's
gave
about
you a secret.
university. It's about boot camps. It's about workshops. It's about business coaching,
It's
adventures
about
like that,
life.
right?
And I think it's about life. And this is why I cannot give a specific answer because when you enter Grant's
Well,
world,
so the specific answer is, well, it's not Cardone Ventures because they
no,
are investing in business, and it's not Cardone Capital because I'm not selling securities to investors for multifamily properties. You're selling how the personal development aspects of the Grant
But
Cardone world, it
Ed,
sounds like.
but not necessarily. And this is what I'm trying to say to everybody, that I am not your salesperson. I am your friend for life, because
Hmm.
when you reach out to me and you ask what this licensee can do for you, I say the possibilities are endless. It can do everything for you, because you enter a world
Hmm.
where you start learning more about yourself than about everybody else that you're looking to learn from and for and with. So you could be into that licensee program and be connected to someone like Migena, and I'll connect you with 1,000+ people in the multifamily space.
Hmm.
So I say licensee programming could be about money and mindset. It could be about you creating these spaces where you are coaching, training, mentoring individuals or groups. But then it introduces you to the Cardone Ventures, to Brandon Dawson, to stages, to being on Grant's show. And this is why I don't want to
We
limit the
got you.
licensee as to doing this for you. It does exactly what you want it to do and beyond, or it could do nothing for you. You sign up, you don't show up, and you move
Right.
on to the next investment and you feel lost. So
Right.
that's why I can't give you an answer, because there's no right answer here.
Well, I like that though. It is it's mind opening that that it truly is an ambassador. If I was to encounter Grant on the street in Miami, then he's going to hit me exactly where I need to be hit, no matter which one of his adventures it involves. So good
Mm.
stuff. Good stuff. Let's talk about connecting. Let's business development hat back on and stuff like that. So, uh, finding your tribe. What's your favorite prospecting method from your
Um,
business development days?
so always people over money.
Yeah,
Never try to sell.
yeah. So
Don't sell.
how are you finding them? The question. Let me
Um,
clarify the question.
how do I
How
find
do we
a
find
prospect?
prospects for your commercial real estate services?
I show up. I show up at events. I buy tickets to go to events,
Hmm.
and I call them investing into myself, into my organization, into my community.
Hmm.
Because at the end of every day, when I run that self report of how I did for the day, I can't continue to assure my friends, family, and network that I am a source for them
Hmm.
if I don't show up on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, into spaces where I connect with people that could provide answers, support for my community, because I am a support and a source to my community based on the quality of my network. So the way I find them is always asking my friends, is there an event happening this weekend? Yes or no? Okay, send me the link, and then I see if it's business related, where I'm going to find the next company who needs services
Hmm.
that I back in the day was providing. I need to show up there, because they will not come to me. I have to go to them in order to be known. But
Hmm.
my method is not walking into a space and connecting with a person because I'm closing a deal today or by Monday. It's me enjoying the journey, and it's me connecting. It's not me dropping a business card. It's me asking about a child's birthday and what their favorite coffee is. And regardless of how many times they would ask me what I do for a living, I always responded, oh, we can talk about me later. I'm very curious to know about you. Like, why are you here?
Hmm.
Who are your friends? Is there anyone here you'd like to meet? Because I know like 10 people on that side, and I heard you worked for so and so. So always bring in value to the person. Like they would ask something about, but where are you from? I'm like, oh my God, I'm from Albania, but what do you do? well, I work for this company, but what exactly do you do in the company?
You're right.
And
It's
I
an
would always
exciting.
twist it.
The conversation's getting further and further away from where we need to be, which is
Yeah,
interested, not interesting, as Dave
exactly. So
Ramsey
pretty
says.
much that's my method. And it's not a method. And honestly, Ed, it's not a method. I think it's who I am. It's my personality, and it's worked for me because over the years, as a lot of my, if you want to call them prospects, which I don't like that word very much, my friends that I connected with initially, I stayed in touch, I was consistent. And when they moved into other careers that weren't necessarily a value add for the company that I was working for, that made me reach out to them even more. It's not because I'm like, I am not speaking to you, Ed, because I know you have something that I need. I'm speaking to you because I really enjoy talking to you because I admire you from afar for what you've accomplished over the years in the industry. And you don't even know it, but you are a mentor for me. I study you and I want to be in your presence. So when I walk into that space 6 years from now, we want to hug each other, and I love the feeling of being familiar in spaces. So
Hmm.
you can call it relationship building, you can call it terrible salesperson because you have to close 10 people. I embrace it all. So my method is people over money, always be in touch, go above and beyond, be interested in them, and show that you are a person first, a professional after.
Hmm.
Because everybody knows that we are here because we need something from one another. And when you are in the presence of the right people who understand that, they will not ask you, how can I help you? Because the moment they know, and it's very easy to discover that I am in this role, they would know exactly what I need and why I am in that space. So I don't need to reinvent the process of pitching. I never pitch.
Hmm.
It's just about having a great time at an event, and then the right people look for you and vice versa.
Excellent. I love that. So that's on the topic of finding our tribe, right? That's
Yes.
that was a thing for a minute. That was probably back before NFTs were the fad, but uh, it's a sales method that for mindset that really is I found beneficial. I only found Cardone a few years ago, about the time I found Clubhouse as well.
Wow.
But I believe, and I've come to believe, and it's rocket fuel for me, that 2 out of 10 people that I encounter will only do business with me as long as I'm doing whatever business they know I'm great at.
Mm.
5 out of 10 I could connect with and I could possibly do business with, but those people have somebody else that's in their life that they need to be loyal to or whatever. Right? There's an additional attraction to 5 out of 10, and then 3 out of 10 they borderline on beyond human aid. They're not doing anything, going anywhere anyway, and you don't want to spend any time with those people because that's 100% wasted time. So finding more people faster. Uh, I've, I'm pretty sure Grant's probably said this. I know Coach Michael Burt from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, says that we do not need more money; we need more people. So while
So
some may
true.
say that your method for business development for the real estate services business in New York was maybe not as scalable or as efficient as it possibly could be, uh, that's, I believe, a very short term uh, perspective. That when you grow networks and grow networks deep and wide, that they're going to be far more productive than you know 500,000 people looked at my Instagram post today and 20% of them liked it. That doesn't make any of them customers,
A
right?
1000%.
So,
And
so it's concentration of good time versus just running through the people. You got to spend some amount of time to make them. So,
plus, when you are in those relationships and when you are in those quick business transactions, and there, as you said, there is no depth, there is no there's not enough real estate coverage, you are more likely to be replaced than if you were to be in a relationship with a person who truly knows you.
Mm-hmm.
And when issues do arise, because in every business there will be issues, nothing will ever be perfect. The fact that Ed and Migena will be able to have a conversation, because we will honor each other the time of the day to discuss what happened to strengthen this relationship, it saves the accounts that it took me a year or two to bring into the table, but the
Mm-hmm.
longevity of it will be bigger because I will have this account for many, many years to come, versus
Sure.
you fight less, you gain less, you fight harder, then you will have a more solid, I would say, not sales pipeline, but you will have a more solid power base. And this is where having deep roots comes in. And this is why learning patience is very, very crucial and is one of the
Mm-hmm.
key ingredients. As I said, when you bake in a relationship, and generosity is another. Like if you think of it as a cake, you have the basic ingredients and then you have the adds on. And I feel the generosity, transparency, and patience are part of the main ingredients into these relationships that we are building. So this is why I was never worried that I wasn't that person who brought in $5 million in sales for the year, or $10 million, because I was that person who was invited uh, with 30, 40, $50 million of opportunities on a yearly basis, because people knew me, people knew how hard I was working.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it was very important to have a seat at the table, a voice in the room. And when my friends then would feel so terrible that my company was in the top 2 or 3, but we didn't make it into the final and winning the contract, my response was always, I am a winner because I was one of the 5 that was invited versus one of the 50 that wasn't invited. To
Mm-hmm.
me, it's more important to secure a seat at the table and provide that presence for my company than the actual closing. Everybody wants to close. But as Tom Brady said it at a growth con, and it hit me when Grant kept telling him how important is winning for you. And Brad said, I'm sorry, Tom Brady said, oh no, I am actually a lot more concerned about not letting people down. I don't want to let my team down. It's not about winning, it's about not letting them down. So I walked in this space, in Manhattan space, so proud, because I constantly was invited. People wanted to give me an opportunity. And I always say I knocked on so many doors and they were not opened. I knocked on so many others and people on the other side were not there. I knocked on doors and the door was slammed on my face. And then I started to continue to knock on more doors. And it's a combination of me being willing to knock, and also at the same time the person on the other side getting to know me better over time and opening that door for me. Because regardless how hard we work in the world, if the other person is not willing to give you that opportunity, there is no way you are going to be successful. I don't care how talented you are, how persistent you are, how consistent you are. And this is why another proud moment, back to the first question, is the ability I had to, the way I connected with people and the trust they had in me and the love and the appreciation they had for me as Migena, as a representative, or any company in the world, regardless of what that company was providing. The fact that they saw me and they said, you can have a seat at our table, you can have a voice in the room. I won each and every time. And now that I'm in my own consulting business, where I say I'm confident because I have the strongest power base, the art of learning patience comes in, and you enjoy the cake more. So yeah, that's what's happening.
That's awesome. So, super connector is one of the words I used or phrases I used in the introduction, and you've truly taken over New York. Are you still based in New York, or are you
Yes,
relocating yourself to Miami?
I
Except,
am. I am in New York. I live here with my parents and my brother. I travel a lot now that I have more flexibility to travel, so I can continue to maintain that title of a super connector
Mhm.
because people come and go in people's lives, and unless you are consistent and continue to show up, um, you are second place, third place, and I'd like to be at the top of being a super connector. So New York City gives me the opportunity to be in the center of the world and at the same time travel anywhere I want to travel. So yes, I am here.
Excellent. Well, you always be a top super connector because it's a mindset. It's a mode of operation. It's being interested in what people are doing and what uh, how you can help. Right? It's who, not how. And I
Mm,
would say, using Pareto principle, 80-20 rule, it's 80% of the time it's who needs to be involved or who could you be watching to get a particular mission objective accomplished, not how can I do it by myself. So being a
so
super
true.
connector has just tremendous benefits, and
Yes.
I'm blessed to have you connected through Clubhouse and the Cardone ecosystem and real estate. So if anybody needs to know anything about commercial real estate in New York City, they should probably connect up with Migena. Uh, I also wanted to flash this page up.
Mhm.
AskMigena.com is Migena's website. So make
Yep.
sure that you check out. I'm sure you can get connected through there for whatever needs you have that Migena can maybe help connect you with people with or whatever. But askmigena.com, get over there, connect. Uh, she's on stages in Clubhouse, so look for Migena Agaraj in Clubhouse. And thanks very much for being here today. I appreciate
Oh,
you
it's
spending
an
some time
honor,
with me.
Ed. You are a wonderful host. I felt very welcomed. I felt at home, and I appreciate the beautiful questions and the opportunity to think and go back in the memory lane and revisit some of those emotions from the early days of building myself as a person here in America as an immigrant woman. So I truly appreciate you, and I wish you the best of successes, and I hope to earn the privilege of being a guest in the future to keep you updated on what's going on
Well, of
as we
course.
progress.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much.
I appreciate that. Those very kind words, and make it an amazing day and an amazing week. And we'll look forward to seeing you in Clubhouse soon again.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Lions don't dream of hunting, lions just hunt. Being organized, it's worth half your life because it's going to take you half your life to find things that you don't remember where you put them. And I'm a master at that. Ugh.
Of finding things or putting them where you can't find them?
I am a master of taking over 10 different projects and then have 10 different projects open,
Oh, yeah.
and
Right.
then I
And
leave the mail here, and then it becomes a day, a two, a week, and 2 weeks. And my mom is like, it takes you 5 minutes to open the mail. And if I spoke English, I would have done it. I wouldn't leave this for you as well. I'm like, but I'll do that later because it's not important right now. Right now, I need to get on a call with Maria. I need to get on a call. And then nighttime is, I don't want to open mail. And then when I travel for a week, I know I need to get to the mail first. There have been times where I've stayed up all night, have not slept, so I could get the mail done before I went, so I didn't have to carry that task with me into this meeting. So I punish myself, and I don't know why I punish myself so much.
yeah. Well, it is. I mean, clutter makes us crazy. So does disorganization. And your mother is a
Oh,
wise woman.
she is very wise, but I'm so stupid because I don't listen to her.
Well, that's
in that for that particular thing.
yeah. Well,
I was there for
that's part of
everything
being an
else.
offspring. That's part of being an offspring. We share with our children our issues. Genetically, we are 100 generations have made up who we are, right? And that information is passed down. It turns into DNA eventually. So amazing stuff.
Wow.
Deepak Chopra just did an interview with Ed Milet very recently, and it's about how the entire world is a magical lie. And if you get a chance to listen to it, it's a YouTube podcast also, so you might check it out. Ed
So
Milet.
you're saying this happens because I'm an
The
offspring?
beliefs, you are the child of your mother. And the beliefs that your mother has, she inherited from her parents. And the beliefs that her parents had, they inherited from their parents. And
Okay.
these Deepak says the entire world is a magical lie that which reinforces so much we possess what we profess. If we say it, it can become true.
Oh, wow.
Because that's how we are. We are what was said before us, and before that, and before that, and before that, going back generations.
Oh my God. So now I get to tell her, actually, you're responsible that I'm a procrastinator.
That's right. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that liberating? Doesn't it make it feel better, Miguel?
No, it makes me feel like so terrible. No, I need to fix this.
We don't have to believe everything that we think. Yeah.
No, that's very true. But look, I am just. I think this is where I get, this is where I get to say, you know what, I'm gonna do that later. And then I'm looking at it and I'm staring at it, and I'm like, all right, let me go clean the kitchen. Let me go clean the kitchen.
If I just do it now, then I could think about something else.
No, look, it's here. I opened it. I'm like, why is this here? Take it with you, bring it over there. And my mom is so good at that. She's like so good at everything. So is my dad. They're all punctual, like early, never on time, of course never late. I am like, of course I'm gonna be late at everything. And they're like, where did you get this from? Because none of us in our family is like this. You're like the only one. Like,
I'm gonna go with creative genius. You get so many things going on. I think we all have attention deficit disorder. Classically, and the more creative, the more curious, the more brilliant people are, the more they are like that. And it's rationalized as it's not procrastination, it's just not important yet, right? What if I die before that bill gets opened? Then it doesn't matter, because death solves the problem.
I wake up, I could wake up at 4, I could wake up at 3, I could wake up at 7. I am still going to be late at the meeting. It's not a matter of oversleeping. I don't oversleep.
Right.
I don't.
That's right.
But somehow
there's something important that needs to be done. Right?
No, I am just like, why do I have to pack 3 days in advance? I'm like, yay, I'm going somewhere. I'm excited. So again, these are excuses, because bottom line is organization adds years into your life, and disorganizations takes years from your life. So regardless how nice I want to be to myself, deep down I know that I am terrible at it, and I'm working every day.
Thanks for listening today. Find your tribe, get in sync by being interested in what they're doing or trying to accomplish, and have conversations to facilitate their dreams. If there's anything in the world I can do for you, please reach out. Until next time, I'm edhooksjr. Live long and prospect with Expect My Call. If you're a real estate agent who wants more from your business, we invite you to partner with us and implement proven production strategies with the support of real estate industry titans.